Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Samir says, what time is it in England? It's 21 minutes past 11 at night. It's nearly midnight and we finally got it. LISANDRO MARTINEZ, Manchester United, deal done. Put a smile on your face at long bloody last. We've been waiting all day for this. I was just putting my pyjamas on. I said on Twitter, I'm going to bed in my Frankie Goes to Manchester t-shirt because I remain confident that we will do that deal despite all the negativity. But you better pump it up. Pump it up a bit of positivity because LISANDRO MARTINEZ is a done deal. We don't need to wait on Ornstein. We don't need to wait on Romano. I'll tell you what, on this one, I'm willing to give it to Laurie Whitwell because, to be fair, I tweeted this out a few hours ago and said, everybody's telling me that this deal's done. The fee is 46 million quid. The contract is 5 years. The wages are sorted. I couldn't understand why this wasn't coming out, and fair play to Laurie Whitwell, he's put it out because, to be honest with you, he's put the fire of frustration out by just putting it out there. Now remember, Laurie Whitwell's waking up in Melbourne, like it's about 8 o'clock in Melbourne. So he's woke up this morning, he's got on his phone, he spoke to his contacts and he's been told the deal's done. Romano and Ornstein, I think they're in the UK and Europe, they're going to bed. So you've got to get up early to catch Whitwell out on this one. He's got it in, back of the net, well done to him, deal done. And I tell you what, he's not wrong. I know he's right because I tweeted it a few hours ago. Deal is done. Fee had been done. Contract's been done. Wages has been done. This is really just technical bullshit we don't need to know. We're not waiting for official announcement. We're not waiting for medical and quotes. We're fans. Well done, Laurie Whitwell, for putting us out of our misery. Just tell us the deal's done. I don't need to know whether the ink's dry or whether you faxed it off to the bloody Home Office or wherever it's got to go. Have we agreed a fee with Ajax? Yes. Have we agreed the wages? Yes. Have we agreed the contract? Yes. Is he coming to Manchester United? Yes. Get a bloody deal. Ding dang do. Get it ding dang done. Yes. Get it in at last. That's what she said. And he said, get it in. Come on, let's get on with it. Manchester United, LISANDRO MARTINEZ, 24 years of age. Ajax Player of the Year. I think he was Eredivisie Player of the Year. Left-footed centre-back. Plays a high line. Little beast of a centre-back. Very good in the air. I'm just very, you know, nothing against sit down Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, whatever about that. I don't even want to be in competition with Arsenal. I find it embarrassing we're in competition with Arsenal and Spurs. With all due respect to them, you're better than us. You finished above us. I want to be in competition with Man City. And with all due respect to Malacia, this is a much... Look, I think Malacia can be a good signing. In no way am I saying it's a bad signing, but I also think Malacia could have signed for Fulham. You know, I hope he's going to be a good signing. I'm putting a lot of faith in Ten Hag on that. But with LISANDRO MARTINEZ, we're spending 46 million quid on a centre-back here. 46 million pounds is a lot of money. 46 million pounds is a lot of money. So and everything suggests that this is going to be a good signing. So everyone is talking about LISANDRO at centre-back or left-back, but what about... Oh, my God. Matt, do you watch the United Stand, Matt? Can I just ask that question for a start? Because I have to answer this question at least 3 times a show at the moment. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm going to get a recording and I'm going to press it and I'm going to sit here and just listen to myself say it because I'm tired. I mean, look, he's basically saying that LISANDRO MARTINEZ can play as a centre midfielder and break up the prey and break press with dribbling. But we're buying him as a centre-back. Welcome to Members Club Show. We're buying him as a centre-back. He may well end up being a forward, but we're buying him as a centre-back. I tell you what is exciting about this deal as well is that it's just a weird deal. Not in the sense that I'm very excited about it. And look, I'm actually going to break... It doesn't really matter because if you're a member, you've seen the video already. So I'm going to tell you some stuff that's going to really excite you, which is what I've been looking forward to. Is there a reason why Fabrizio still hasn't said, here we go? He said it's almost done, but at this rate, you might as well say it's confirmed, says Arjun. And it's not the paying his wages thing is true with most likely is true. I wasn't getting paid at work. I would leave. Likely he wants to stay. I don't know, says Nathan Allen. Don't know what he's talking about. I don't know whether he's just rambling about his job at work or he might be talking about Frankie de Jong. But let me just blitz through this because some of you who are not members of the United Stand members channel, you might not have seen this video, which is on our members section where we compare LISANDRO MARTINEZ to Maguire and Varane. So if you're worried about his aerial duels, last season he was averaging 4.6 aerial duels per game, winning 63% of them. Maguire was averaging 4.1, winning 65% of them. So his aerial ability is actually very good. Also, we've got his defensive duels, he averages 6.8 per 90. Maguire averages 4.6. And he wins 71% of them, and Maguire wins 71% of them. So he's involved in more offensive duels as well. But this is the one that really gets you excited. Passes per 90, he averages 79. Maguire averages 53. Varane averages 49. His pass percentage is success rate is 92%. He is passing the ball 26 times more per game than Harry Maguire. It's absolutely fantastic. And not only that, forward passing 28 to Maguire's 18. This is, and I know it's Eredivisie, but his Champions League stats are pretty much the same as well. In Lisandro Martinez, we're getting a left-footed centre-back, which we don't have. Bailly, Maguire, Jones, Varane, Lindelof, they're all right-footed. We're getting a left-footed centre-back who can play the way that Erik ten Hag wants to play. High line, covering the flanks, bring the ball out from the back, pass the ball out from the back, aggressive, good in the air. He's got the whole lot. And the only question I have about Lisandro Martinez is why didn't we go for him over Timber? I really wanted Timber, and I think Timber's going to be a very good centre-back, and I hope United go back in for him. But Lisandro Martinez is 24 and basically about to step into his prime years as a very good centre-back. Timber, I think, is 20. It shows you how highly Erik ten Hag holds Timber's ability. But I actually do think that Lisandro Martinez probably suits us better for now than Timber does. And I really wanted Timber, and it's his loss. But I do think Lisandro Martinez ticks more boxes than Timber. He's of the right. He's older. He's got a left foot, and he's more of a leader. And he is more of a leader. Even Timber himself put that quote out, didn't he? I don't know when it was from, a few months ago maybe, talking about his leadership qualities. This guy barks orders. He isn't going to take the toxic crap with a great help. Erik ten Hag now bringing De Jong and Leo J. Thank you very much. Guy's phenomenal for his height. Martinez pocketed Haaland and the 6-foot striker couldn't get past the Argentine once. Roll on Derby Day, says Stedge. Boss, sorry to interrupt you, but this is now a good transfer window if we get Frank. Is this now a good transfer window if we get Frank and keep Ronaldo? Because Martinez looks really good. I'll come back to that, St. Jimmy. I think we probably have done better getting him over Timber. I'm starting to think that as well, Sean. I mean, look, I trust Erik ten Hag's judgment, and he definitely wanted Timber over Martinez. But normally when you miss out on your first choice, you're like, oh, we didn't get our first choice. I really want to drill down onto that. De Jong gonna join Real at this point, says XI. Is he? I don't know why people judge him by his height. Cannavaro is 5'9" as well, says that boy. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do want to drill down on that because I think normally, welcome to the Members Club, Brody. Literally just watching clip of his passing when I got the notification. What a player. Ten Hag bringing the vibes. Love your passion. Mark, let's go, says Alex. And Nathan, I think we've spoken about that. He's on about De Jong wanting to stay at Barca and him apparently not getting paid his wages. I don't get why he would want to stay at the club. We'll talk about De Jong in a little bit because this is a deal-done deal. This is a deal done for Lisandro Martinez. KDC, thank you very much for joining the Members Club. Buzzing with this. Hopefully we can get De Jong over the line, says Liam Gray. We'll talk about De Jong in a little bit because I just want to talk about Martinez. Please smash a like on the video. We love to get at least 5,000 likes when it's a new signing. But yeah, I just want to drill down onto that because we did want Timber. We did want Timber and we've ended up with Lisandro Martinez. And if you think about it, if we don't get De Jong and we had to go and get Neves, we'll be like, oh, we missed out. And there's been loads of examples of that. But I think this is a really unique one because actually, as much as it's disappointing not to get Timber, there is really a strong case to say that this is more suitable now and he's probably a better player for us now. So I think that is very clever from Erik ten Hag because, yeah, it is disappointing when you don't get your first choice. But I actually, the left-footed thing is really important as well. Fabrizio said he's waiting on a final call before Here We Go. Must have different sources to the others, says Joshua Bowwater. Look, I can look. First of all, if you're panicking and you need Fabrizio and David Ornstein, that's absolutely fine. You know, I was probably waiting for that. I would have gone live at 7:30, to be honest. Check my tweet at 7:30. I said, I don't know why the big hitters aren't saying it's a done deal. Because I was told, 5-year contract, £46 million, it's done. And then it wasn't, nobody would go live. Nobody would put it out there of credibility. And I'm not going to say it because people will go, he don't know nothing. The only sources he's got is his tomato ketchup. But look, I was told about Sterling a month before everyone else. I knew Ronaldo was injured before everyone else. I do get told bits, and I was told this was done. But I wasn't going to do that because I think it's unfair for people who you know, just want it a little bit more confirmed. But Laurie Whitwell's works for the Athletic. Like, the Athletic, whatever you think about it, he works for the Athletic. And as he says, everything has been agreed with Man United, Ajax and Lisandro Martinez. There is hope he can join United's pre-season tour. So, you know, that's where we are with it. Actually, I think there's more than that. Manchester United, and there's more. Manchester United have agreed a fee with Ajax for the transfer of Lisandro Martinez. Personal terms have also been agreed, and Manchester United are hoping he can join them on the tour. That's the same thing I've just said, isn't it, from Laurie Whitwell? So, you know, Jonathan Schrager says, here we go, equals deal done, everything agreed, but contract not signed yet. The situation is reportedly still the same. Christian Eriksen at this moment is not signed yet, says Jonathan Schrager. Look, I couldn't give a shit about all that. You know, we are football fans, and I couldn't give a shit about whether the ink is dry or, you know, the technicalities of things. I think people are losing sight here. I'm not here as a football fan of Manchester United, and you're not here as United fans at this time of night to be told we can't get excited about Lisandro Martinez because somebody's not ticked this or done that. I don't know when this has happened. And to be fair to Fabrizio, remember he did say deal done, Malacia to Lyon. So maybe he's just been a little bit extra careful now because things can change very late on. But reality is, deal done is not official announcement. There is a little bit of leeway there. And, you know, Jed Spence tonight, David Ornstein, I would go live on that if I was a Spurs fan. It's deal done. There's deal done, which is for fans to get told that a deal's going to happen by journalists. And then there's official announcement by the club where Lisandro Martinez is holding up the shirt with a few quotes. And that's a different thing. This is deal done. This is, we are signing Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. We've agreed a fee. He's agreed his wages and he's going to sign. That's where we're at. And that's all we want. Because what we've been waiting for the last 48 hours, and to be fair, the last 4 weeks, is United to start kickstarting this transfer window. And I think what we're doing with Lisandro Martinez is kicking this transfer window. He was told not to train this morning because they don't want him to get injured, and United have finalised that deal today. Get him on a plane tomorrow, get him to Manchester, reveal him on Saturday, get him on another plane on Sunday, and get him out to Australia. That's what I'm excited about here. I really couldn't give a toss if somebody doesn't dare say deal done or here we go or whatever because they're worried about, you know, the ink drying on a bit of a contract. The reality is Lisandro Martinez is a Manchester United player when he holds that shirt up and it's official. Everybody knows that. There's always that little bit of a grey area before, but deal done has always been, we've been doing it for years on this channel and not one of them hasn't got through to official announcement. So maybe it'll happen one day, but it's not going to happen on this one. And look, they can always fail the medical. You know, how many deal dones have we done for Jadon Sancho and Cristiano Ronaldo and Lisandro Martinez? And they've still got the medical to do. So, look, it's all about what you want to enjoy. We've been doing this for years, and I've always said it, and we've always done it this way. You get terms agreed with the player, you get deal done when you agree it with the club, and then you get the official announcement. We've done the terms with the player. We are now at deal done because we've agreed a deal with Ajax. And then we just get to official announcement. It's the 3 stages of a transfer. If you don't want to enjoy that, don't enjoy it. But I tell you what, I am going to enjoy it because Lisandro Martinez has agreed a deal with Manchester United and we've agreed a deal with Ajax. And that's where we're at. Fabrizio said we've done that one. Welcome to the Members Club, Alex. Buzzing, Maguire isn't good enough to start for United. How is he our captain? Simply put, Ollie, that mistake cannot continue to hold us back, says Callum. Great signing. It's an upgrade at the position as well as multifunctional player. Great to have these players in your squad, says Andrew. Brody says, Mark, you used to be in finance. Have you ever checked the SEC financial filings for Manchester United? Very concerning stuff. Might be interesting video for member channel. Love the channel, says Brody. Thank you very much, Brody. Welcome to the Members Club, Callum. We've had five memberships gifted by Jack. Thank you, Jack. You're a legend. I'm going to gift some in a minute because it is a new signing. But can I just say as well, in relation to Lisandro Martinez, we ain't buying him to sit on the bench. Maybe Malacia's sitting on the bench. 15 million signing, young. He's got to adjust himself. Maybe that's going to happen. But I don't think that is going to happen with Lisandro Martinez. We are buying a player in Lisandro Martinez for 46 million quid. He's going to be our only left-footed centre-back. He's going straight into that team at left-sided centre-back, or I'll be stunned. I'll be stunned. I know people think Maguire's going to play, and I think Maguire is going to play, but I think Maguire's going to play right-sided centre-back, and I think he's in competition with Varane. We haven't got a left-footed centre-back. If you look at this team here, If you look at that team there, where Harry Maguire is number 5, next to Varane, number 19, Harry Maguire's got a right foot. Eric Bailly's got a right foot. Victor Lindelof's got a right foot. They've got left foots as well, but they don't know how to use them. Lisandro Martinez knows how to use his left foot, and it provides balance to the force. That's Star Wars. But it provides balance to the back four. The back four balance is so important in a Ten Hag side. He will never play Brandon Williams ahead of Malacia and Luke Shaw at left back because he wants balance. He doesn't mind his winger, Jadon Sancho or Marcus Rashford on the left wing, being inverted right footers, but he wants his fullbacks to be able to overlap and put a cross in. And it's very important that the left centre-back is left-footed as well. Lisandro Martinez is going straight into that team. You cannot spend £46 million on a player and not start them and sit them on the bench. You know, to be honest, if you're John Murtagh and Eric Ten Hag says, I want to buy a backup centre-back, who do you want? I want Lisandro Martinez. For £46 million, yes, on your bike. This is a player for the first team. This is a leader. This is a player that comes into that team and organises the team on the left-hand side. Who plays next to him at right-sided centre-back? Well, I think it should be Varane. Maybe Varane won't be fit enough. I think that's something to watch out. So I think it will be Maguire a lot as well. But ultimately, these are nice problems to have. And, you know, maybe Ten Hag's going to do something really strange and go, look, I've always played a back four at Ajax in the Eredivisie, but this is the Premier League. I quite like what Tuchel does, what Conte does. I'm going to play with a back three. You know, maybe he's going to do that. I don't know. Great to be back here again, Mark, with some great news of Lisandro, says Richard. Hope Maguire is going to enjoy some bench time to learn to play better football. I don't think that will happen, Richard, but, you know, I would rather have Lisandro Martinez, Maguire and Varane fighting for 2 spots than Varane and Maguire fighting with Lindelof, because you know what he's going to go with there. Ryan Johnson, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. Do you think four players is all we're going to bring in, Mark? I want to talk about that. Killer, someone has asked about that. I'm going to say it out loud. Ten Hag does not play with a centre-back. Ajax's entire back line has been or will be world-class midfielders, says Josh. Just got here. Finally welcome the next Cannavaro, says Great Times. And Richard Briscoe, thank you very much. He does have those, I tell you what, this is a first on the live chat. The cat's in. I can hear him in the next room. I'm going to let him out. I'm still here, but we've been interrupted by a cat. You're really not very popular, you know. Where are you? If you know, you know. I've had Doritos nicked. I've been in the shower for a false, here we go. And now I've got a bloody cat interrupting. He wants to go out. It's nice and warm. So, great to hear back here again. Okay, read that one as well. Do you think 4 players is all we're going to bring in, Mark? Says Killer Ghost. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Labyrinth, welcome to the Members Club. GOAT status, says Jack. So, yeah, Lisandro Martinez, as you can see below, Laurie Whitwell's come out with this. He's obviously woken up in Melbourne, Australia, put a couple of calls in, messaged a couple of people. This deal is done. It's done. And I'm just really pleased that somebody's actually come out and put it out there, because as I said, we were talking about this on the 7 o'clock show. I tweeted it at 7:30. I can't remember what I said specifically. I might even have the tweet. Here we go. Got it. It was at 6:51. 6:51 I tweeted this. So 4 hours ago. 46 million fee for Lisandro Martinez, 5-year deal. I'm amazed none of the big hitters have announced it. And I was told that at 6:30 tonight. So fair play to Laurie Whitwell for actually putting it out there, because I just don't get why people were sitting on this. As I say, we as fans are not here for the crossing of the T's and the dotting of the I's. Done deal is never official. Done deal is, we know we've agreed a fee with Ajax and we know that the player's coming. Official announcements when they're holding up the shirt with a few quotes. We know the difference between the two. We want done deal because we want to feel that excitement. And of course there's a medical to be done. Who knows what could happen in a medical? I'm sure it'll be fine. But I do like the Cannavaro. I love the Cannavaro comparison, because I think everyone wants to liken a player to something. And I think the Marcus Rojo thing is just lazy. Oh, an Argentinian left-footed centre-back and we're buying another one. I just don't think there's any comparison between Marcus Rojo and Lisandro Martinez. They're very different types of players. Marcus Rojo was rough and ready, and I think Martinez is quite aggressive as well. But Martinez is way better on the ball. He's got way better passing ability. Mobility-wise, I'd say he's probably a bit quicker as well. But they're not comparable. Who is comparable to Lisandro Martinez is more of a Puyol or a Cannavaro. These centre-backs that aren't massively tall, but can read the game and play the game ridiculously well and are aggressive. So I loved Cannavaro. Cannavaro was one of my favourite centre-backs. So if we've got a player that's anything like that, I'd be very excited. I really don't think the captaincy is a done deal yet. I think Erik ten Hag really didn't have a choice on the tour but to keep Maguire, but the squad isn't final yet. Maguire is not safe, says Andrew Rossi. Well, I'd hope in relation to Maguire, there's competition for places at the very minimum. And I think everybody wants to have a pop at Maguire because they don't want him as captain. But, you know, if he gets to play as well as he can, he's still a decent player. But the captaincy thing shouldn't be, oh, he's going to play regularly. Like, we're Manchester United. I don't think Pep Guardiola's captain or Liverpool's captain necessarily plays every week because they're captain. They play because they're arguably one of their better players. There has to be competition for places at Manchester United. You can't just start because you're captain. So whether Maguire's the club captain or not doesn't mean he has to start every game. You could easily drop Maguire and put Bruno as captain, couldn't you? Here's a couple of pints on me, Mark, for staying up a couple of hours later. Do you think that we will now shift our focus to other signings now that Lisandro is done, says Elliot? I do want to talk about that. A few people are asking about that. Hi boss, I'm going to Canada next month for 2 years from Ireland. Can't wait, but going to keep up with my favourite channel. Thanks, buddy, says St. Jimmy. I hope you enjoy Canada. I think it's a lovely country from what I've heard. And Mark, do you think that Man United are waiting for the De Jong deal to announce all 3 signings at once to show people intent? I will talk to you about De Jong in a minute, Elliot. Shane, welcome to the Members Club. Are you worried about Maguire, Mark? He's a massive problem, says In. No, I'm not worried about Maguire, and I don't want this video to turn into an anti-Maguire thing. I've never had a problem with Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof or Phil Jones. Personally, not a problem at all. This is about ability. Do I have problems with them as Man United centre-backs? Yes, because I've seen Pallister and Bruce, I've seen Vidic and Ferdinand, I've seen Stam and Johnson. I've seen the standard of what a Man United centre-back should be, and I don't know that Lindelof and Maguire are that standard. Varane is, his CV suggests it, and also I've seen how good he is. We need competition for places. I wouldn't have sold Maguire this summer. I think he actually justifies being kept for another year. It's his opportunity to see if he's good enough. And I'll tell you what, if Harry Maguire plays 40 games this year, then he will have kept either Varane or Lisandro Martinez out of the team. And if he's done that, I hope he's played well, because he'll have to play well. Kim Ari, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. If Ronaldo were to leave, who's your first choice to replace him? Says United. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. At this point, I'm more excited about Lisandro other than Frankie. I mean, look, Mason, I agree with you. The most exciting signing for me would be Anthony, because I like wingers. We need a left-footed winger. He'd be the most exciting signing. De Jong would be our best signing because he's the best talent, but there's just something that's not massively exciting about De Jong. The length of the deal, all the issues with it, but he is a world-class player. But I do agree. I think Lisandro Martinez, his style of football, a left-footed centre-back, suits the Ten Hag system. There is something very exciting about this signing. I really hope it works. United, welcome to the Members Club. One problem solved. Welcome, Lisandro. Now go and solve the midfield, the Ronaldo, the striker, and the right-sided forward problem, says Travis. Hi, Mark. Shout out to my mate Sean, who got too giddy with the idea that Ronaldo would be joining Chelsea. What a prat, says Rosh. That is true. Klopp sometimes benches Henderson and plays Keita and Thiago because Van Dijk is a captain. What you said there is true, says Nathan. Thank you very much. I really hope Martinez gets a run in the team with Varane. They could really make a good partnership with a good midfield in front of him, says Barry. And of course, Barry and everybody else watching, the big positive with this as well is that Lisandro Martinez will be on the tour. Actually, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have said that. The plan is for him to be on the tour. The plan is for him to have the medical tomorrow or Saturday and be on the tour by Monday. Get on the plane, get on the tour. If he's on the tour, obviously he won't play against Palace. He might play against Villa next Saturday. But whether he plays against Villa next Saturday or not, he'll have a week training with the team. He's been training with Ajax. He's going to get 2 or 3 weeks training with the team before we play our opening game of the season. So he should be starting in the opening game of the season. If you don't buy a player and they miss the tour, there's a chance they might not be ready for the start of the season. So this is another positive as well. It is sad that no big club wanted the so-called best. I hope United fans see that he's massively declined, says Tom T. Cock, welcome to the Members Club. And I think we should say, I think I shortened the name there. I think we should say deal done when he is at least travelling to Manchester. To me, this is still a prediction, says Mohammed. God, I bet you're fun at parties, Mohammed. Bloody hell. Talk about a way to try and deflate the mood. Mate, we've been doing this for 7 years. I think we know what deal done is, and I think we know what an official deal is. Some of you lot are miserable and don't like to celebrate it till they're holding up the shirt. We've been doing deal done for years. Deal done is when credible journalists say that the deal is done. And we've had that. I like this signing, but would also take Alvarez from Ajax, who is a CDM, says Simon Cliff. Hi Mark, Varane is also left-footed, so would we start Varane and Martinez, or would Varane be benched, says Ryan. I'm sure Varane's not left-footed. I'm cautiously hopeful. Is it possible that the training was that bad in such a big club, says Jonathan. Good evening, Mark. Seeing outlets linking Anthony to Liverpool and Chelsea, is there any merit in that? I want to take them with a pinch of salt, says Shubby. And Ryan, welcome to the Members Club. Well, look, a lot of people are asking about this. Please smash a like on the video. Lisandro Martinez, deal done. But a lot of people have been asking, do you think that this is the end of our transfer window in relation to signing players if we get De Jong, Eriksen, Lisandro Martinez, Malacia, 4 signings? Do you think that's the end of the transfer window? Well, it's a very good question, because if you add up 46 million and you add the 60 that we're paying for De Jong and the 15 that we're paying for Malacia, guess what that adds up to? £120 million. Effectively, I think that probably is our budget. I think that budget's a joke, an absolute joke for a rebuild that we need. That budget should be 175. We really should be buying 2 more players after that. Tielemans for 30 or Lema for 20 and then Anthony. So we should be spending more. This is where it's going to get interesting, because if they close the transfer window on purchases after Lisandro Martinez and De Jong, I'm sorry, a left back, a free transfer, a midfielder and a centre back is not enough. So we do need to sign more players after this. I just don't know whether it will. How would I rank this transfer window if we bought Martinez, Malacia, Eriksen and De Jong? 6. And that's nothing against the players that we've bought. But last year, when we bought Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo, I gave it a 7. And people were like, oh, you can't do that. Sancho's world class. Varane's world class. Ronaldo's the GOAT. And I said, yeah, but I'm not judging the players. I'm judging the window. We didn't buy a midfielder. This season, this summer transfer window, we needed to buy 2 midfielders, 2 fullbacks, a centre-back, an attacker. Didn't really need a centre attacking midfielder like Eriksen, but he's a free transfer, so it doesn't matter. If we just get a centre-back, a midfielder, a free transfer and a left-back, we haven't got a right-back, we haven't got the other midfielder, and we haven't got the forwards. So we're 3 short. So there we go. There is a debate going on in the chat here about Raphael Varane that I'm going to have to solve. I mean, look, he's probably 2-footed, but I always felt that his predominant foot was right. Apparently he's left-footed. There you go. He is left-footed. He's very good with his right. No, he's right-footed on transfer market. I tell you what. Look, the reality is he can use both feet. I don't know what his predominant foot is. Maybe he's that word that I can't shout. As it ambidextrous or something like that. The point is, it's irrelevant whether he's left-footed or right-footed, because he's going to be playing right-sided centre-back. We're not going to put Lisandro Martinez on the right and put Varane on the left. So, yeah. Varane will play on the right, Maguire will play on the right, and Lisandro Martinez will play on the left, unless he gets injured, and then we might put Maguire back there. So yeah, that's that solved effectively. Nathan says, I just searched it. Varane is left-footed. You can quickly search it on your phone. Varane is left-footed. I just searched it and it's right-footed. I think he's right-footed, but you can probably use both. Mark, big ups to the Jamaican people in the chat, says Jordan. Well, let's not be exclusively Jamaican. You know, there might be people watching elsewhere, but at the end of the day, it's 10 to midnight and we're live talking about deal done for Lisandro Martinez. Let me just bring you some other stuff. So everything is now agreed for Lisandro Martinez to Manchester United. Fee has been sorted. Personal terms agreed. Manchester United hope he can join the tour. That was from Laurie Whitwell and it was about half an hour ago. And of course, it's a nice thing to have happened because we've got the watch along tomorrow morning. So I I didn't want to be waking up in the morning thinking, oh, when's the signing going to happen? When's the signing going to happen? Of course, some of you are going to have to, all I'm going to say is some of you are going to have to pretend you're really excited tomorrow when deal done happens from certain other journalists. But we're Man United fans. We don't wait. And the reality is that Laurie Whitwell is very close to the club. He's an athletic journalist. If he says what he said, or James Ducker, or Samuel Luckhurst, or Simon Stone, I'd have gone live off them anyway. So there's a select few journalists that I will take their word for. And as I say, at 10 to 7 tonight, I put a tweet out saying, I don't know why people aren't putting this out as deal done, because the fee is this, the contract is 5 years. Why has it not been put out there? So yes, very, very pleased that it's out there, and very pleased, you know, there's almost, when a transfer happens as well, especially when it's a Manchester United transfer, this ain't a shock, is it? This ain't Fabinho being linked to Liverpool at 8 o'clock and signed at 9 o'clock. We never do that. We know this deal was going to happen. We've known that we've wanted Lisandro Martinez for about 3 weeks. So when United actually do get a deal close to completion, it's that relief that, yeah, I'm interested to see what his quotes are in his shirt, but don't take too long. Who's the next signing? And we definitely are in that mindset where, yeah, it's great we've got Lisandro Martinez, and I am really genuinely excited to see him play. But I'm like, now do the next one. Now do the next one. Hi, Mark. If you could guess when will we get Here We Go for Frankie, says Jerome. Oh, I'm glad somebody asked me about Frankie, actually. A few people have asked. Mark, we're going to do very well this season. I feel it, says Kim. Raymond, welcome to the members. I'm not making any predictions on the new season yet. You know, I think it's very... I don't think I can... Well, I will make predictions because that's the whole point of having a community, but I'll do it just before the week of the season starts. But I think it's very difficult to predict what United are going to do next year. Seeing what they did last year, it's so hard to... I mean, they could be good, but they might not be good. Which is why I think bringing in 3 or 4 or 5 players is really important. Who's our captain now? Surely David De Gea, as it's always should have been for Samat Awards. How was it ever in doubt, says Callum. Frankie de Jong. There was a story from Sport tonight that I just couldn't get my head around. So Sport, I think, is a Barcelona outlet, if I remember right. I'm getting a bit tired now. And they basically said that words to the effect of Frankie de Jong, agent, has told Man United's CEO to stop getting in contact to sign him because he's not going to join us. And I'm like, you know, the contradiction or different information that is out there in relation to Frankie de Jong, I've got no problem with any United fan being fed up of it because it's all over the place. It really is. We've been told that even Fabrizio said it today a couple of times. De Jong does not want to come to Manchester United. But then you've also got other journalists saying that De Jong's told United he does want to come to United. And I think it's just become so... The sad thing about De Jong for me is that I read United fans now, and they are... United fans I respect. There's people in the community. Obviously, I respect you guys and ladies as well. And there's people saying it, and they're going, I don't want this player anymore. I know he's a good player, but I don't want him anymore. This deal has just become so boringly toxic. I don't want him anymore. And I think that's such a shame because neither do Barcelona. Nobody wants Frankie. And we've got to be the club that goes, come to this club and you'll realise what a great fan base we've got and how we support our players. And people will go, oh, that's cheap. You're always slagging off Maguire or Rashford or McTominay or Bruno. Well, I'll slag any player off who's crap, but I'll always support a player who puts a shift in for the shirt. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. You know, I don't go down the local fish and chip shop and when they give me a bag of bloody nails, eat it and go, that's great. It's not chips. And, you know, I think I can't think of a United player that we've bought and we haven't backed as a fan base. If he comes into the club and he's toxic and can't be arsed and performs badly, then he'll be booted out and the fans won't want him. That's fine. But we will support him, and we will, because we do that with every player that comes in. And Frankie de Jong's a very good player, and I think he'll be a good signing. I mean, he might completely flop, I don't know. But I think it is sad how this deal has just been polluted by... a very political situation at Barcelona, to be fair. You know, the financial situation has led them to be very political in the truth. And, you know, my feeling, I mean, look, I've just got out of bed to do this and I had this on in bed. But, you know, I am very confident that we'll sign Frankie de Jong. And the reason I'm very confident about that is because I speak to people and they tell me that Man United are very confident about this deal. They're very relaxed about this deal. And this deal is really being driven by Erik ten Hag's relationship with Frankie de Jong, and he speaks to him regularly. So all this publicity about Frankie de Jong adamantly not wanting to come to Manchester United and his agent telling United to stop asking him, I'm like, well, what's Frankie saying to Erik ten Hag then? And why did Barcelona ring us up to buy him in the first place? I think this deal will happen. I just think it's sad, as I said on the show at 7, that it's got so toxic, because there's no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona. And I think we've always known that. And I think back in May we knew that. And it's a personal choice for you to go, well, I don't want a player who needs to be persuaded to come to Manchester United, or he's a world-class player, why would he want to come to United? Let's try and persuade him to come to United, because if we get him, he's way better than anything that we can buy. And that's where I am. I know he doesn't want to come here, and I actually applaud him for that. I've said it before. I think there's something wrong with him if he went, oh, I'd love to come to United. We're crap. We're a crap football club run by people who don't know what they're doing. But we're trying to turn it into a really good football club that befits the fan base and the great name Manchester United. And we want him. The project is to help to be the focal point of getting us back there. And that's the persuasion. I think you've got to persuade these players to come to your club. I think we're way past the point where we go, I don't want a player if they don't want to come here. Have you seen what we are? Like, you know, it's only because of Brighton we're in the Europa League. We should have been in the Conference League. So I've got no problem with persuading de Jong. And I know full well why he wants to stay at Barcelona, because why wouldn't he? But I don't think we're helped in this deal by the complete contrast of stories that come out every 10 minutes. I think the truth is Barcelona want to sell him. I think the truth is that he was owed money by Barcelona. I think the truth is that we've upped the bid to give Barcelona some money to give to de Jong. And I think the truth is Barcelona now want to sell him and are getting pissed off with him not being sold and are basically saying, you're not going on the tour, we don't want you anymore, please go, in a polite way. And now the ball's in de Jong's court to just accept it. And what's the 7 stages of grief? You know, maybe he's in denial at the moment. In a few hours, he might start to accept it. Just finished work. Any other news other than Martinez? Only asking because I haven't had time all week to catch up. Keep up the great content, says Dylan. Well, I've just given a big update on Frankie. James, welcome to the Members Club. The Frankie de Jong saga has been more fatiguing because of the spurious stories that have been spun out of Barcelona, says McElvis. Yeah, there's a lot of... And the trouble is, you're not wrong to say that these stories are bullshit, because some of them completely contrast and contradict each other. Kia says, Frankie's been held hostage by his own wages. Barca's treatment of him is shameful. I could see Martinez play as CDM, tucking in with Varane and Maguire when defending while fullbacks push up, says Carlas. Maybe, but I tell you what, we're buying him as a left-sided centre-back. That's the plan. Maybe he will become a midfielder if the midfield's crap, but we're not buying him for that, I don't think. You can't pay attention to sport. They spelled Erik ten Hag as Ten Hag. Ignore and wear your t-shirt with pride, says Sakin. Mark, you're a legend. 5 shows in one day. Get some rest, pal. Hopefully Frankie de Jong tomorrow, says Adam. I've done 5 shows today. It's been a very long day. Why are we trying to sign him when he's not interested? I would sign Tielemans and Ndidi. Well, Tielemans and Ndidi are completely different players to Frankie de Jong. The reason we're signing Frankie de Jong is because he's one of the best ball-carrying midfielders in the world. He's a very creative player, and his passing range is fantastic. And this is why Frankie de Jong wants him, because basically he's probably looked at that McFred midfield like we have and said they can't get the ball off the back four and feed the attack. Frankie de Jong can. My dad thinks signing de Jong is bad for us because Barca win me games without him and he can't get in the team over Pedri and Xavi, says the Gaming Panda. I sort of respect that from your dad in a sense, because let me just disappear for a minute. I'm not disappearing in audio. Sam, welcome to the Members Club. I sort of respect that in a sense from your dad, because, you know, maybe he doesn't get in the team sometimes because of other players at Barcelona. But James Ward-Prowse would be an improvement on our midfield. And that's what I would say to your dad. Who are you going to get to come to Manchester United in the Europa League who is better than Frankie de Jong? And that's the statement, isn't it? Move past this moral pride of not wanting players that don't want to come here, because I understand why he doesn't want to come here. You've got to try and persuade a player that's that good to come to United. Who is available that is better than Frankie de Jong, that suits the way that Ten Hag wants to play? He created Frankie de Jong. He sold him to Barcelona from Ajax. I'm absolutely behind Ten Hag on why he wants Frankie de Jong. It's a player it's the same reason he wants Lisandro Martinez. He's got to try and get this United side playing well ASAP. What better way to get the team playing the way he wants to play than bring in players that he knows want to come? And, you know, I think we'll get this deal over the line, because I think it's a club statement as well. If the club don't get de Jong, they've publicly embarrassed themselves and shown that they're no better than Woodward and Judge at getting players in for their manager. If they do get Ten Hag de Jong, people will say, God, it was a long deal. Bloody hell, why did it take so long? But they'll also say, well done. Well done for getting that deal done. Abbas says, hi, I have a question. Do you think what's other choices if we couldn't buy de Jong, and what do you think about Neves from Wolves? Thank you, says Abbas. Thank you, Abbas. I think Ruben Neves is a good player, and I think Tielemans is a good player, but I don't think that they are options. I mean, Ruben Neves would probably cost around the same price as de Jong. Wolves want a lot of money for him. But Ruben Neves and Tielemans are nowhere near the ability of Frankie de Jong. So, you know, that's what I think about that right there. I really don't see how Erik Ten Hag will play a right footer at centre back. He just never did it at Ajax. Maybe Teles backup left centre back. Love from Texas, says Robert. Look, we're buying Martinez. That's what this video has been about. We're nearly at 5,000 likes. Please smash a like. I'm just about to gift, actually, as a thank you, 10 memberships. And if you are a member and you're going to be a new member, then make sure you check out the video comparing Lisandro Martinez to Maguire, because you'll really enjoy that. It's only a 5-10 minute video, and it's never been more relevant, so do check that out. They should be into the chat now, but we are buying him as a left-sided centre-back. If he becomes a midfielder in the future, I can't say that won't happen, but we're buying him as a left-sided centre-back because if you know anything about Ten Hag and the way he plays football, he 100% wants a left-footed left-back and a left-footed left centre-back and a right-footed right centre-back and a right-footed right-back. He wants that balance in the defence. Why does he want it? Why didn't we do it under Solskjaer? Why did Solskjaer play a right-footed Maguire as a left-sided centre-back? Why does Southgate do it? Because Southgate don't play the way Ajax did, and Solskjaer certainly doesn't. You can play with a right-sided, right-footed right centre-back in the way that Solskjaer played or the way that Southgate plays. But if you want your left-sided centre-back to cover the flank when your left-back goes forward, you need a left-footer. You need balance, and that is why we're bringing Lisandro Martinez in. The interesting counterpoint to that is, why did he want Timber, who's right-footed? I think he was still going to play Timber as a left-footed centre, as a right footer at left centre back, but we'll never know. Frankie de Jong is a class act, but rather have Martinez at centre back. I think Lindelof could do a job as a CDM. Frankie de Jong doesn't want to come, says Andy. I nearly said thanks to United Stand for gifting 10 United Stand memberships, but that's me. And United fans should have high standards, but also understand the current state of the club. Frankie de Jong will be a great signing, and Erik Ten Hag knows he will do a job, says Scott. Going to the game tonight and have my Glazers Out t-shirt, says Chris. Of course, for some of you getting up this morning, welcome to the world. If you are in Australia or on that side of the world, it's tonight for you. I've still got to go to bed, and then when I get up in the morning, it's 11 o'clock in the morning kickoff for us. Felipe Anderson may be a possible second choice to Anthony if budget's right. You can't take him, Mason. He bloody West Ham reject. I mean, I liked him at Lazio, but I don't think he's somebody I would take at Manchester United now. We need to try and buy the best. That's what we need to do. Mark, would you take someone like Modric as a stopgap, as the much needed second CM, says Sam? Well, first of all, Sam, no. And second of all, Real Madrid wouldn't sell him. This makes no sense at all. Let's think about this. Frankie de Jong can pursue the wages he's owed even after he leaves Barca. What's really the hold-up here, Mark, says SK. I'll tell you what the real hold-up here is. Barcelona telling de Jong that they don't want him on the tour and he's sold. I think Frankie de Jong has hung about in case all these financial levers that Barcelona have pulled will make them go, we don't need to sell you anymore. I think that's the truth. I think Frankie de Jong is hanging around hoping that Barcelona go, we don't need to sell you. Because ultimately, they're not selling him because he's a bad player. They're selling him because he brings money in. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. This feels different with Eric Ten Hag, says Nav. And I have as much faith in Ten Hag as Mark does in wash and go. And I'm going to the game. There you go. I hope next season will be entertaining to watch, says Tom. Well, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm sure you're going to wake up to slow sports news of deal done. But fair play to Laurie. Fair play to me for saying it as well a few hours ago. I couldn't understand why people weren't saying it. And a few other people as well. Frankie de Jong is a statement signing. We shouldn't even be in for him, says Leo. Well, remember, we're talking about Martinez. Will we be signing anyone after de Jong and Martinez, says Abbas? I hope so. We'll have to wait and see. But thanks everyone who smashed the like. We've got 5,000 on the video for Lisandro Martinez. I'm excited by this signing. And let's get him to Manchester, get the medical done and get him on that plane. That's the big thing. I don't care if he's holding up the shirt on Saturday morning, but get him on a plane on Saturday evening, out to Australia, training with the lads, ready for the start of the season. Let's get to go. Right, I'm off to bed. Big up Mark, says EJ. Well, nah, big up to you lot. You know, we've had 20,000 people watching at midnight. This community is amazing. Positive vibes. We just want the best. We just want Manchester United to be good. I don't think these players realise it. They've become so brandified. They think when they get criticised, oh, I don't like them, I don't like them. You're meant to be a team, lads. It's not Bruno FC. It's not Martial FC. It's not Rashford FC. It's Manchester United FC. You're a team. We criticise you because we don't feel you play as a team and we don't believe that you play to the standards required. Get the team ethic, play well, get the reward. We're all in it together. Get the positive vibes going. I believe now deal done because of the gift, says Mohammed. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you in the morning. It's a watch along tomorrow. Don't forget that. We'll be live from 10. Take care.